Okay, so the Roach Warren has been planted down here. Now, are we going to have some Roach aggression here? Let's not forget that Ragnarok's done that, frankly, a lot in this tournament. And you know, there's nothing fancy about it, but it doesn't really need to be that fancy. He just makes a bunch of roaches and tries to push.
There's 24 lings and Ravagers. Oh, Ragnarok is actually going to get really aggressive here, Tasteless.
Yeah.
You were asking, what does it look like if Maru dies early? Like, who does it? We're going to see if Ragnarok can.
And keep in mind, both the add-ons are right here at the entrance. So forcing a liftoff there would be huge. The Hellions are going to come in, but you know, even if they get some drones, and so far it's only going to be 2 or 3, 2 actually, keep in mind that this army's already been made, and so the tank goes down.
Dude, the tank going down is big. Now the Lings come up to actually push everything away from those Ravagers, and he will start working on that depot. Another Ravager pops out. Look at this, 5 Ravagers, man. This is serious now from Ragnarok, throwing out a ton of biles. Maru has to try to dodge here. Just a little bit of damage being dealt from them. Now microing back heavily.
Yeah, and a lot more shots coming out. He's going to tear down that depot. There is one more tank coming out here, but keep in mind, with this Ravager count, you can easily pick that tank off as it goes into siege mode.
Dude, okay, that was good micro from Maru, and actually from Ragnarok as well. I actually like the patterns he was throwing his biles in as well, making it very spread out and making Maru really split and run a lot. I think that was a pretty good attack, and he started droning behind it.
Yeah, now with Maru holding off the attack, a drop's going to come down. There are 2 Overlords over this vacant area on the map, so they will see the drop coming in here. So we can see these Ravagers now scrambling to get back over here and try to defend this area.
Only a small handful of Lings, so the Ravager's going to have to do some heavy lifting. Transfusion does go down on 1. The Queen almost gets picked already. He's pulling that Queen back, and in fact, the Ravagers starting to get picked off here, unfortunately for Maru. I mean, for Ragnarok. That's such important units for him right now.
Yeah, he killed them all off, and those are really the high-value targets, right?
Yeah.
Queens and Ravagers are what you want to continue to try to stack over time.
Well, right now, Maru pushing out. Going to try to get some more pressure on here. I'm a little bit worried. It's just like Lingbane Queen once again, but no good creep spread on this side. Okay, he gets, yeah, it looks like he decides at the last second there that he didn't quite have the critical mass he needed. Oh, man. The game started looking good for Ragnarok, but I'm feeling like Maru's catching up in every single way now.
It's subtle, but he's sniping a lot of the right stuff to kill. You know, another Ravager going down here. He is pulling away. And, you know, this is what happens if you don't go for a Spire. You know, the Terran could kind of go at will to where they feel like is safe, and you have no way to chase that down and stop it. And so we're going to have another attack coming here now. Did Ragnarok morph these Banes too close?
His Baneling speed is not quite ready yet, but it looks like he has just enough. And Maru does pick up and zoom out of there. Now, bringing more of his units down, building another command center as well. Maru getting ready for a bigger, longer macro game, it looks like. And 2-2 started at about the same time on both sides. So maybe we can get into one of these really big, drawn-out games and see how Ragnarok fares in that situation.
But, you know, it's a bit of a tight game here. It's a small map, which creates a little bit of problems. You know, Terran has the ability to kind of come out and strike different locations almost immediately, which means that Zerg has to be very good on response time.
Well, one thing I want to mention is and that over 100 Lings, look at that, 42 Banes, crazy army. But as we have Ragnarok going up to Hive, he threw down a Hydralisk Den and is getting those upgrades. So what that makes me guess is he might be taking into consideration how the map is a bit tighter, how it is a bit harder for Zerg to get those extra bases. He might end up going Lurker Defiler, right? I mean, Defiler, oh my god, Viper.
Viper, right.
But Lurker Viper is the most cost-efficient you can get as Zerg in this matchup, right?
Sure.
So that, if he tries to go like that sort of grind approach, that's a really reasonable way to play it if you feel like your opponent is just going to be too good at defending.
Yeah, and it's a very straightforward way to deal with this, where you actually try to fight them. You can see the drops now. I mean, so far Ragnarok's defending pretty well on both sides. This is the most macro game we've had so far in this finals. And Maru just trying to get done, you know, whatever he can with the small number of units that he has. Maru trying to basically drop in these narrow corridors, which allows him to get a little bit more time and therefore a little bit more value out with the units. While Ragnarok has to run around playing whack-a-mole to try to clean that up.
It's kind of funny to see. Like, he's just trying to snipe queens and whatnot, but there is some static D going down from Ragnarok. So, like, this is probably the last time we're going to see drops that look like this. This is pretty much being shut down at this point. Oh, he gets that last queen there. But yeah, everything will end up getting picked off.
It's a little bit crazy how long it took for that to be wiped out.
Yeah.
And here Terran takes the upper left. So we're running out of bases. It's undeniable.
Yeah.
There are 2 bases, one in the upper left middle and one in the bottom right middle that I think are hard for anybody to take.
Yeah.
And so we'll kind of deal with that when we get there. But the only thing that's really left to take besides that would be the center right base. So
Yeah.
we are running out of locations
Very
to fight
much so.
over.
And I definitely agree. Like, these rich Vespene bases are like, that's a very difficult one to take. It's so wide open to your opponent to attack, no matter which side you're trying to take. So you see Maru setting up in this very defensive stance. We're getting into that portion of the game where Maru stops attacking and tries to grind through everything. Yeah, you see it exactly. 3 command centers, 2 factories on the way. And look at this. Oh my god, a massive attack from Ragnarok, bringing in all of his Ling Bane right now. That is an like, look at how many Banelings that is. Oh my god.
It's kind of insane. The question is, how much did he actually kill off? It seems like Maru's supply wasn't too injured by that.
No, not too much.
Yeah, well, it almost seems like Maru is deciding that actually it's going to be his time to try to attack out here. And, you know, the problem for the Zerg is there's not a lot of room. You can see already with just one screenshot lowered here, and suddenly we're in a Zerg base away from a Terran's.
Yeah.
Which means you could basically use the base that's north of this position to have tanks up there to cover the units that are going to be closer to creep. Use that to cover the units that are actually pushing the base. I mean, this is getting tough, and the fact that this map is taller than it is wide creates another problem for the Zerg as well.
Yeah, that's just generally good for Terran, is having those kind of thinner maps like that. But look here, Tasteless, like, this is that really wide open base we were talking about, the rich Vespene Geyser, where it's super easy to attack. So I think it's right for Ragnarok to give that up. Like, there's no reason he should be able to hold that. Oh god, he just picked off a few of his own tanks. He's killing his own tanks right now to open supply to add Thors against these incoming broods.
Yeah, smart move here. The moment you see that many broodlords come out, you don't need tanks like you used to.
Well, the tanks actually can be detrimental in a way. The
Sure.
broodlings that draw the tank fire, that's going to make the broodlings so much more deadly.
Yeah. And so it's become a bit slower right now, but Terran's actually going to try to take this base over here. I didn't think this would be possible, but let's see if he can actually hold it. I can't imagine this is going to stay up for more than a minute or two. By the way, snipe inbound!
Oh, man. He doesn't have any detection. That's a ton of snipes.
That's a big screw-up by Ragnarok.
Man.
There's no reason why there should not be an Overseer over there.
Yeah, that was pretty painful. He had the Banelings, too, so, like, it was preventable by just hitting the damage on there. But 6 Broodlords fell. That's pretty expensive. That's pretty painful.
Now, I really thought this base couldn't last for much longer here for the Terran, but it seems like he's already taken a pretty big victory in that last little engage. And, you know, if there's not many more Banelings left over here, oh, well, hold on a second. He's actually going to be able to just come over here and crush this, maybe.
Oh, the tanks that the Ghosts run back into. Very, very painful there. The Planetary might get picked off. No, he turns around as the Ghosts come back up, even though the Planetary's already at half health. What a hard area to attack into here, Tasteless. My God.
He should definitely land some mules over there, try to repair that Planetary. The Planetary really gives the Terran the foothold. Keep in mind, like, even if you're not mining from this base, that's, like, not that bad. You can mine a little bit later on. He has some SCVs coming down here as well. This Thor turns out to be a great magnet for those Banes.
Yeah.
I see, what, 2 Broodlings here? Is that it?
Yeah, 2
Broodlords
right now.
Excuse me.
Yeah, look at this. The Ghost coming up and just putting on so much pressure. And then the rest of Ragnarok's army does go into attack, but, like, Thor,
man.
Ghost, Planetary, Siege Tank.
Dude, it is 137 supply to a nearly maxed out Terran.
Yeah, with more bank as well. And, you know, it's a tough map. It's so small. It's so close. The bases are to each other. And Maru is putting on a masterclass of how to destroy Zerg here late game.
Yeah, I mean, this is just total perfect handling. And if you look at the map, top part compared to the bottom, you notice Zerg has basically 2 bases in the middle that he can't use, while Terran has his. That's all you have to do is Terran. It seems like Maru's going to press his advantage, but right now, I mean, even without a Terran push, I think that there's no way for Zerg to recover until Zerg is able to fight back and reclaim the bases that he has. He cannot. GG.
Now, this is a 2 factory.
Okay,
which
so
is this is really different. From
really
Maru.
weird. I actually, I talked about a minute ago, there are like a couple different forks in the opening that you can do with this. This is actually one I had not even thought of. Whoa!
Oh, he didn't quite get in. He gets the Ling out. Okay. I just wonder if he could have run past and actually got a full scout. But the thing is, this looks normal.
I don't know for sure, guys.
It could be. It's possible.
Blue Flame coming.
Blue Flame Hellbats are good too.
I'm spitballing here, but again, we've never cast this build in GSL. And by the way, there's a reason why Maru did this. So he did a greedy opening into a very obtuse tech.
But it's hard to imagine him blocking all of these Hellions coming up. Now, as soon as they shoot, he's going to know exactly what's going on. Like, as soon as one shot comes out of a Hellion.
Yeah, he
And so
doesn't
just,
shoot just
oh
yet.
my God, that's so many, man.
It's so
that
many,
is
man.
Oh my God.
Oh, he gets the walling up.
Dude, that's a sick wall.
Oh,
that is a
can
sick
he block
wall.
It? Oh, he gets in. He gets in.
Uh-oh.
And now the queens are blocked out. He tries to block again. It doesn't quite work. He's just too fast.
Oh
9
my
kills.
God. Look at this. The drone's trying to pull away. He's going to get all of them, Tasteless. Oh my God, these Blue Flame Hellions massacring the drones.
This is so many drone kills. 25 so far. Hellions still high in number and now roasting these Zerglings. More Hellions come down.
No. And this might be it. This might be the end of this GSL run here for Ragnarok. 29 drones have already fallen. Gets another volley. 30 drones before he clears all the Hellions. 40 workers against 51. And look at this follow-up. It's mech. It's speed Banshees. Maru right now is styling on Ragnarok.
Yeah, I mean, this is such a different way to play. And you can see Ragnarok just completely blindsided with it. Traditionally, we see the Terran either take a third base and then push with, Medevac Marine, or we see them two-base push hard with the tanks to try to close it out. And that's basically what Ragnarok was bracing for. And then for the Hellions to come out in kind of a rug-pulling move, totally threw Ragnarok off. 30 workers killed.
And 24 Lings.
Yes.
And an Overlord from the Viking. That's 43 larva worth of units gone. Right? The Banshee's waiting for that speed upgrade to finish, and here we go. Those are some quick Banshees right there. Pick off some drones here on the edge. Go after that Queen. The Queen gets picked off before it can get back to its Spore. That's 4 Banshees, man. Like, they literally can go after the Spore if they want. They can fly over and ignore it. The world is their oyster. Now look at this. Blue Flame Hellions coming in. This is a good surround, though.
Pretty good control here from Ragnarok. In fact, completely shutting this down. Only a small handful of Zerglings are killed off.
Yeah, that was very well done.
But the Banshees continue to do a lot of damage. So many Queens coming forward, but vision is not there for them to help gun down the few remaining Banshees that try to run away. 8 mutas are inbound here. This is the first time we've had mutas really made in the series so far.
That's right. That's right. And, plus the Overlord speed just finished up, so the Overseer can help the mutas to kind of prevent the Banshees from doing too much more damage. But look at the worker count. 82 workers for Maru and 68 for Ragnarok. That's like reverse of what we need to see. I wonder if he's going to try to go Swarm Host, or is he going to go a different way? Like, are we going to run up to the Hive Tech? Is it possible Infestors are an idea he's pushing around? I'm really unsure, but it feels like a lot of these options are a little bit slow, and Maru's going to come out really soon with his push.
Yeah. You can see even more upgrades going to finish up here. Tanks now inching out. Scans come down as Maru's concluding his target. Even cleaning this creep up here. Not a lot of anti-area over here, am I right?
Five Cyclones is it.
Yeah, is that
if
enough?
If he had a good amount of mutas, he could actually break this.
Yeah, well, he only has 10 out here, which just seems to be barely not the right number.
Yeah, I think so. And look at that, 3 Thors are being made, so I think he realizes, like, okay, I do need a little bit more anti-air. And I think those are going to be out in time, that there's not a real opportunity here for these mutas. So that base, not going to happen. Very close to an important base now. Maru's starting to push in. Utilizing these Banshees very nicely. The muta's trying to catch reinforcements. Oh, look at this. They might find an empty expansion here.
Yeah, well, not too empty, right? Undefended. He's going to be able to kill off a lot of workers here with these mutas. This is going to force the Cyclones back. The problem is this is kind of a meh amount of damage to do over here. I mean, I think the reality is that the walls very soon are going to start closing in for the Zerg. You know, Zerg is basically being matched right now by the Terran, and the other places that Zerg can expand to are the bottom left and the upper right, which are frankly just not that easy to take, as exhibited over here with these Banshees.
Certainly, certainly. One thing to mention is that Ragnarok has successfully maxed out, which is nice to see. Baneling's rolling in now to try to deal with some of these Hellbats. It's a good amount of Raptors as well. Doesn't really get the hits that he's looking for with them, unfortunately. And Maru just using that amazing multitask here with these Speed Banshees, and that is such a problem for him to deal with. But now some Corruptors do come out.
It is kind of crazy what sort of value these Banshees are getting in this game here. Now, Zerg's going to fight back. I'm unclear on what exactly is here to try to help defend. It seems like it's nothing but big, clunky units fighting each other.
Yeah, yeah.
This is a Warcraft 3 game right here until the Lynx came in. And so, you know what, the Zerg fights this off. Not that easily, but I think we really need to keep going back to the shape of this map. There's one free base in the bottom left. Everything else is in the upper right, and there's not much left for that. And I think basically Terran can continuously poke in both of these locations. I mean, the reality is that there's nowhere that Zerg can really attack. There's not a lot Zerg can really do. And he can, Maru can basically come down with this army of robots, and basically,
got a robot army.
And trade very efficiently.
Well, let's see. The Roaches come up. Those are some good blinding clouds overall, and it looks like the Corruptors can push back the Banshees a reasonable amount, but there's just so many Thors, and as the Thors push back the Corruptors, in come those Banshees again with their absolutely insane DPS, killing off so many Roaches and Ravagers.
And, I mean, he's basically won the ground war. The Corruptors can't really do anything but chase the Banshees. There is a small victory, by the way, at 12. He does chase that away. Again, Zerg needs to keep this base alive. If he can just get enough Lings over here, maybe there's a shot. But it does seem like everything's a little bit spaced out, right? There was too many units fighting kind of individually, so to speak.
He's definitely having a hard time actually getting a solid engagement here. He doesn't have the critical mass, but finally he will clean this. He'll keep this base alive, and that's incredibly important. He needs to keep it alive. There are still 6 Speed Banshees flying around, and by the way, of course, those Mutas killing that base. Definitely a big moment there for Ragnarok as well. He's actually up in supply right now. It's not better supply, to be honest. It's like Roaches and Corruptors and stuff. Like 5, 7 Mutas that are not all that useful right now. And he's playing against mech. But, you know, like Ragnarok is fighting admirably.
Now, he does actually chase away those Mutas. Keep in mind that, you know, let's say the Ragnarok takes that upper right. It's not, oh my God. Is there no Overseer?
There's nothing that shoots up anyways.
Oh, I guess that's
whether
true.
you have one or not.
But there isn't even one here.
Those Banshees are so scary. I almost don't want to see them as they kill all my stuff. My God. Comes up here with those Corruptors, and they get the kill.
Now, that's probably the worst thing that could have happened there, because the reality is that you would have at least wanted the Terran to trade out some of his stuff of value, right?
Yeah, yeah.
But instead, they came in there and they sniped it, and then they escaped immediately.
It's really painful. And look at this. He's actually built up that Hellbat count. That's going to do a great job tanking at the front of the army. There are 18 Banes. If he can get a good couple Bane hits onto these Hellbats, he might be able to actually get in there. Look at that. Good blinding clouds. Excellent blinding clouds. Ragnarok getting in on top of everything. Lings and Banes pushing forward and abduct as well. He's kind of pushing it back.
Yeah, he's fought back nicely. Let's keep in mind that the very, very upper right base is still taken. He just needs to get some drones transferred to it. He does have the Mutas ready to try to counterattack in here, but Cyclones are going to try to chase that away as fast as they can.
Yeah, very good job clearing out a bunch of these Mutas. Looks like the Mutas are dead. I don't think that's the end of the world for Ragnarok. They weren't being all that useful. But like, what is the plan from Ragnarok here? What he's doing is barely breaking the armies each time. But you know what? He's got a good amount of hatcheries on his side of the map as well.
Okay, he's come down now. And a couple more shots coming off, kind of chasing this back. I gotta say, this is not looking great for Maru here. You know, there is a reason why we don't cast this build that often. It's probably because it's not, in the long run, maybe the most optimal way to play. But as I say that, I guess the remaining Queens fall. And like our other 3 games, I look down and see that supply disparity and think, oh man, maybe this is, even with the small number of units here, it doesn't seem like the Zerg should be able to reinforce and defend the same way the Terran can continue to push and send more units rallied back out.
Maru's mining is just too good.
Yeah.
And, like, we see Lings and Banes coming in here, not having the best engages. Throws down those Biles. Okay, gets rid of the tank, but he's losing a lot of units each time. He needs to pick off these Thors more efficiently. This is a huge problem. He's just not able to mass up.
Yeah, he's dropping, 10, 15 units for every Thor that's killed off. And he's going to come back in again. I think we're about to have a G5L champion, Artosis.
I think you're right about that, Tasteless. He comes up with his Corruptors, and as those get picked off, I think we're going to see that GG coming out of Ragnarok. Not much left over for him. Banshee Thor. What a composition here. Maru styling in this finals, just having an absolutely epic one. GG, and Maru has won his 5th GSL Code S.
History has been made. Maru